More and more people are producing dance music because, firstly, the access to equipment, home computers, whether it's PC or Mac, and the internet make it very accessible for people to get hold of music making equipment, whether it's by purchasing it or illegally downloading. It's available there for people to have a go.
The access to software now, internet is a massive help.
Chances for someone to produce are just, anyone could. If you've got a Mac or a PC, you could download the software and you can knock out your first track in a day. It might not be like great, but you've got the option to learn it and get something down really quickly.
I first got into production probably only about a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. I just started just playing around with FL Studio.
I started writing music in 1991. First heard groups like The Prodigy.
It was about 2.5 years ago. I've always been into sort of music and drum and bass in particular.
Yeah, when I heard The Prodigy, I first heard things like Jericho and Charlie, and yeah, it just blew me away. And at the same time, a friend of mine was writing music on a Commodore Amiga computer, and yeah, just showed me what he was doing, and I got into it myself.
First of all, just started on the demo and started playing around, making some sounds, and then started to like what I was making, and I thought, I bought the full version. Then from then on, just started actually producing my own sounds.
I used to work in investment banking in London, and after doing that for about 4 years, I thought my real passion, I guess, was in music, not in banking. So I quit, and with my savings I moved to Amsterdam for about 8 months, and I just used that time to teach myself what the basics of production, basically, which was invaluable, and that was it. That was the beginning of the journey. Yeah, about 2.5 years ago.
Well, recently I've just moved to this new house, and so I've been able to sort of upgrade my equipment. Just got a pretty decent PC I've recently bought, and now just only in the last couple of weeks bought these monitor speakers. Saved up a bit for them, but it makes a massive difference. I mean, only up until a month ago, I've been producing mainly on headphones, so it's quite limiting in terms of hearing the sound.
Software, I use Logic exclusively. Speakers, these are Macca 824s, pretty solid speakers, sound good. There's a Macca mixing desk, which I kind of use more as a sound card, but you can record into it. It sounds really good, and it's good for beefing up drums if you sort of run it into the red light for it. This is the baby. I told my girlfriend, this is my baby. This is a Virus TI Polar, which I got maybe about 4 months ago. Costs an arm and a leg, but it sounds amazing. The raw tones of it are fantastic.
Well, I produce drum and bass music. I'd say my sound is quite cinematic in places. I hope to think it's emotional for drum and bass music. Although it's club music, there's an emotional side to it too.
Particular sound, I guess, is on the deeper end. Quite hard to pigeonhole. I don't really make jump up drum bass. Well, I certainly don't make jump up drum bass. I don't make really liquid drum bass, but it's quite It's darkish. It's quite dance orientated. It's got a fairly fast step to it, but there are soulful elements. So it's not just really dark. It's kind of trying to combine soulful sort of sounds with a more driving beat and darker bass lines, I guess.
My sound, as people may have heard some of my stuff, it's obviously very like chill out drum, liquid chill out drum and bass, very minimalistic, very like a lot of my tracks, people tell me that it's full of emotion. Like I think that's, I always put a lot of emotion in my tracks because obviously you can like feel a good mood in a track, I suppose, and that's what I try to do with each of my songs, really.
I think the internet has definitely pushed electronic music producers forward and is a great communicating tool for also helping out, even just down to like things like tuition on how to produce, how to make certain sounds, sample packs. There's a lot more of I think, an electronic music movement going on because of the internet.
I don't think I'd be here without, the internet being around. Simply for the fact, you can share information online, and that's sharing it from peer to peer. You might talk to another producer and say, like, I just need some advice on how you go about doing this sort of thing or that sort of thing.
I think the internet is really important. I mean, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done any of it without the internet. I mean, not only just with promoting your tracks that you make, the internet has really helped me with tutorials. I mean, I've pretty much taught myself.
SoundCloud is a massive contributing factor to being heard because it's like MySpace. It's a site used by loads of people that are into music, make music, listen to music.
Discovered that it's a great way of advertising your music and making a profile as an artist and getting it out there to people. And again with YouTube, I mean, that is where I really started off before I even heard of SoundCloud. I was just making a track and sending it out to like different promoters on YouTube.
And it's just a great way to hear new music as well, and I think music inspires music. So the more music you have exposure to and access to, the more that's going to inspire you to produce and create a sound. Whereas before, you have to go down and buy sort of CDs or tapes or whatever. Now it's just click of a button, you can listen to pretty much any track you want, within 2 seconds. So I think that kind of resource can only help production and getting yourself out there, getting yourself heard.
I mean, for me personally, I use the internet a lot for promoting my music. In fact, pretty much exclusively now. Very rarely will use magazines for promotion. I might do some interviews and maybe have some banners in like a drum and bass magazine or something like that. But very rarely, your day-to-day promotion is internet and maybe on the phone communicating with like-minded musicians, labels, DJs. But really, that's it. It's all about the internet.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I never really had major aims. I just started out as a complete hobby. I mean, it really is still a hobby for me, but obviously it's great that now I've got, 2 or 3 tracks signed to a record label and still 2 more forthcoming as well, and hopefully more in the future. That's what has inspired me, the fact that I've had people really showing interest in my stuff, and it's made me want to make more and hopefully get more signed and more released.
What was in my head, I mean, I listened to a lot of tracks, like other people's tracks, obviously really enjoyed them, but I always had kind of ideas of, I would have done it that way, I'd like to make a track a bit more along, like with that kind of vibe, but maybe do it slightly in a different way. I mean, the long-term goal was to, get more DJ bookings out of it and maybe make a living, ultimately, yeah.
Night vision sharper than arrows. Tools in my hand cause I'm paro. Crying cause I see many men get hanged from the gallows. Hanged from the gallows. Hanged from the gallows. 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 Gallows.
dance music's probably more popular than it's been for 10 years right now. I think, you know, 5-6 years ago we were in a phase where bands were the in thing, and you know, you go back to like sort of the late 90s, it was dance music, and I think we're in a renaissance again for dance music.
There's a great vibe about it at the moment. There's a lot of new people getting into it. There's a lot of old people getting into it.
UK dance music producers are popping up all over the place in pop music. You know, people like Chase and Status producing for Rihanna, Pendulum, Noisia, they're all doing this kind of work, and I think that's a testament to how good UK dance music is.
UK dancing is massively growing, isn't it? I mean, because the modern day and age now, it just seems that all the time there's new sounds and new DJs coming up with completely original sounds, and you always think, how am I going, you know, what are new sounds are we going to hear next? But every week you hear a new sound, and that is also a great challenge as a producer. It's coming up with new and original sounds that people like.
There's a lot of people, I think, who have got their own sound and are just doing stuff that's on another level. Rockwell is just unbelievable what that guy's doing. You know, because it was getting a bit stale, sort of that side of drum and bass, and he's come along, and it's just ridiculous what, you know, the sound is just imprinted, you know, on him, you know, on the scene.
The times of you have to be underground to be cool, and commercial music sucks and no one should do it, is gone. You know, these lines are like blurring all the time, and we see so many different DJs playing across the board style music.
You're seeing more and more you know, artists from different genres collaborating and making really original sounds. You're getting like house DJs or producers collaborating with even like R&B and hip hop producers and making, you know, sounds that appeal to a wider range of people and making completely different sounds, but it does really work.
Yeah, I'm really excited by the future of dance music. I think the possibilities right now, just with artists like Chase and Status, Nero very currently, it's really exciting how you can, you know, produce a track and it can just absolutely blow up.
I think it'd be strong. I think it'd be good. I mean, it's hard to see from the commercial angle. I can't ever see, realistically, I can't ever see what I'd consider underground dance music now to be played on a commercial level, just because I just don't think it's ever going to be big and popular enough for the masses to enjoy it.
Dance music's very good at kind of taking away the control from everyone else, and it's just really like one or two producers in their bedroom or big studio, wherever it is, doing their own thing. There's no really external factors of why they're producing the music they're producing. So I think all the time the control's in the artist's hands. I think dance music's going to be very exciting.
In the next year, I'll just see I'm going to be continuing making what I've been making, really. Now I've moved to this new place and I've got sort of my little studio set up. I can actually work a bit harder on tracks and hopefully collaborate with like more artists.
I'm currently starting some projects that are a lot more commercial than I guess Detail Recordings is known for, or Lynx as an artist.
Well, I've got a few releases coming out. I've got the Critical release and the Shogun release and a few other bits and bobs. Which I'm looking forward to. It'd be nice to have some vinyl out there with a name on it, so that'd be good. Gigs, like, I'm starting to get booked a lot more. Maybe got like 2-3 a month, at least for the next 3 months or 4 months anyway. So I'm keeping busy with that stuff. I want to just get better at making tunes, basically. I want to improve my sound.
Artists, they're not driven by money. They're driven by writing music. I mean, personally, it's like in the nicest way, it's like a pattern that you just don't want to stop doing. It's like rewarding.
Keep it low. Strings, laser beam, smoke. Thus, speakers, cloud. Strings. laser beam.